Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is the morning of day 4. By noon today, we'll officially be done, halfway done the course. Things are moving along pretty darn quick. I think today's a pretty brief morning video, so buckle up, have an extra sip of your coffee, and we'll get to your day here. A couple things to remember. The calendar will tell you what's due today. So today is the 7th, and if I go down here to the 7th, and I click up, you can see that there's only 4 tasks today, and one of them is only a reading task, so nothing to submit. There's a discussion task right out of the gate, and then there is a dual Dropbox portfolio assignment in the second half here. And so that would mean that you're not only submitting it to the Dropbox or the assignment section, but you're also putting it in your My Blueprint portfolio. So today is a pretty short day, which makes it a great day to get caught up on prior assignments. So a reminder, if you wanted to see what you missed on prior days, you could go back and then focus and see what it is, and you can track down that work through the content. Things to take note in terms of marking. Your marks, 3 people obviously handed in their transferable skills and sound bites in late, which is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. There's certain due dates that I try to keep students kind of honest to keep them up to pace of the course. If you hand in something late, that's life. Maybe you've got something going on in your life that kind of impeded your day, or something happened, your brain exploded and you just forgot to do something. It's not the end of the world, but it's just trying to keep on pace. So your mark should be back. You should check the mark, and you should check the feedback as well. You can do that in the grades section. Today you'll have the must-haves versus nice-to-have marks. I'll start marking them at 9 o'clock because that's the actual due date, and you'll get that feedback back to you right away. I think the biggest piece of feedback that students are receiving is that, when you get an assignment for the Dropbox, there's always an example of it. You should be doing your best to match and mirror that example. Those examples represent that above expectations. They represent their assignments from prior students that have gotten those 90s and 90 and above. So matching those will give you that higher mark. Matching just the written expectations, those meeting the requirements, are 70%. So either way, choose your poison, but a great way to do it is to mimic and mirror the example provided in the description of the assignment. Something pointed out to me by a student today. It appears as though your grades are calculating a bit wrong, and it's a bit by a very fractional amount. It's almost as if the computer program online is rounding wrong. And so I went in, and so an example of it is this student had a total of 8 out of 100 marks in the course thus far, because we've only done 2 assignments. And the computer program, the website, was displaying 7 and not 8. And I'm not sure what that is. I've never noticed it prior to this being pointed out to me. I'm looking into what that is. So if you notice something similar, I'm on it, I'm paying attention to it. But please know that this online mark, this is just for you to see. It's nothing I control. It's an automated feature that spits out. So I can't even get behind and kind of edit the math that the program's doing. But what I can do is I can tell you is that I'm keeping my own math on the outside in a spreadsheet that has your marks in it, and those marks are correct. So that student's mark matched the math that they were doing correctly and the computer was doing incorrectly. So don't panic if you see something you're like, what the hell's going on? Feel free to email me if you look at it and you're like, what? The math doesn't add up. But I'll explain the same thing to you. The computer program is doing something funky, and I'm not sure what. I'm going to look into it today. But I am not in control of the grades and the math that it does. I put in the number, and then it spits out a grade to you. So I'm using my grade book on the spreadsheet for the report card, and 99.99% of the time it matches perfectly, but there's a little bump in the math for this online section. I don't know what it is exactly. I'll look into it and let you know. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or issues, please make sure that you're emailing me. Remember, between the hours of 9 and 3, you'll get a response pretty quickly within 15 minutes. And if it's after 3 o'clock, you may or may not get a response from me, depending on how my evening with my daughter is going. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a good day, and I'll see you later.